Alright, well, hi everyone, my name is Antonio Namis, and since I haven't really made a video in English, I decided to go ahead and make one right now. So, I want to let you guys know a couple of things that have been going on and just happening in my life from this March of 2012. And hopefully in the future I'll be able to look back and commemorate and just respect all the things that I've done and probably measure everything that I've done up to that point. Well, right now I'm in school and in college, and the only reason that I didn't go home, which I really normally do, is that I had to spend all of my Saturday morning, afternoon and evening just reading and preparing for an assignment that I have that is approximately due in 1 month. So, you know, it's almost getting that time of the year, and that spring semester is kind of getting into a close, so I just went ahead and went to the library, checked out some books, and awesome. Now I want to talk about a little bit of what I've been doing with the book, with the research project, and the books in general. Pretty much, I'm in a history class that examines the relationships between Latin America and the United States. I am of Mexican ancestry. Well, I was born in Mexico, even though I've lived here most of my life in America or in the US, but I really haven't visited Mexico that much to really say that I'm from there. So the thing that with that is that there's some nostalgia that I have. I feel that I have a lot of longing, or that feeling that I want to go back to my own home country, because I feel that I was just taken away from where I was born, which I really was, because of external circumstances. But anyways, that's one of the things that really kept me here in college, motivated. Right now I'm very motivated to continue and do all these amazing things that I've been doing. So anyways, I went ahead, enrolled in the class, and everything is awesome. I am learning a lot from the class. I thought it would be, well, of course it's Latin America. The thing about the course is that I wasn't really prepared or really aware that the course, even though the title says U.S. Latin American Relations, I wasn't really aware that the course was going to treat other countries as well. Anyways, I'm very glad that I've learned a lot about Cuba, a lot about Nicaragua, a lot about Guatemala, and Chile probably, and other places that America has really had an impact. But overall, I think that this is one of the first classes that has given me the chance to really explore in depth what it means to be a Mexican person living in America. So right now I'm absolutely thrilled that my teacher decided to give us a research project. Of course, you get those assignments in history courses, and what I've been doing is that I've been in a library, like I said, and I checked out all these books, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you why I think they're important. And I know some of these things that I'm just going to say or tell you all won't be really interesting to you all, but I just want to use this right now as a way that later in the future I can look back and just say that, wow, I was this kind of person back then. Oh look, right now I'm using the books as a handstand, not headstand, just like, you know, I'm just, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, and I was absolutely thrilled to know that the teacher concentrated in Mexico, also in the Mexican Revolution, and also in the Mexican-American War. And I've learned a lot of information that I really didn't learn in depth before in my other Spanish classes. For you all who don't really know, I'm a Spanish major, and that's really another story. But pretty much what I just decided to become a Spanish major, majoring in literature, not in really linguistics in Spanish, because Spanish has so much that has really to offer me. I grew up in a place that really didn't really teach me a lot about where I come from, my roots, my heritage, and the impact that my society has made in the world. So that's why when I came here to Carolina, everything was just awesome. everything, especially history courses and literature courses, were so interesting to me because some of that information I feel that I have never learned before, and it was true. So it's pretty funny because when I came here, I already told myself I'm not going to learn or just venture out into the Spanish or the history courses. But in my junior year, that's where I am right now. But anyways, going back to the history course that I'm taking right now with America and Latin American relations. So yeah, the thing about the assignment is that our professor, who is absolutely funny, he's very humorous, he likes to enliven all of the class, he's awesome, really good teacher. He decided to give us an assignment, and the thing is that it's really an open assignment. He didn't really give us specific guidelines in terms of answer this question, answer it this way, whatever. He just said, make your own research project, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I went to talk to him, and then I told him all my life story, pretty much what I've been telling you all for the past, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And then he identified with me, and we kind of chatted about this and that, how he's also in that kind of same circumstance, and kind of same stand. So what we did was just talk about that. And then I told him that I was very interested in Mexico and the relationships between Mexico and the US. So he said, perfect. And then right now, what I'm doing right now is a research project. I haven't really formulated my research as much, my question, but I do feel that in the future I might change or just change my question more, because I really haven't had enough time to think as much as I would like in terms of all the reading, because I mean I just checked out all the books and I haven't really read all of them. But anyways, there's this idea, and it has really motivated me. The idea that Mexican land, especially the lands from Texas and all of the Southwest that presently belongs to America, were sold by Mexico, and there's a lot of anti-American sentiment because of that. It's really a wound that still persists in Mexican society, from what I've read and from what I've kind of understood from other people, which is kind of sad, of course, and a little insightful at the same time. So that's why I want to go ahead and learn more about this a little more. I want to know, why is it that Mexico sold the land. I have a little bit of my hypothesis right now, and one of those is that Mexico wasn't really in a great position to fight back against land. I mean, that might be arguable, but right now I don't feel very prepared to say that that's the case, or it's not the case. So right now I just have a little thesis just flying around, and hopefully I'll get it later. But anyways, that's one of those questions that has really bugged me since time, and then I just went ahead and had a little trip in the library and checked out a couple of books. Well, not a couple, I think there were 7. But the books that I'm just going to show you are the books in order that I feel that are going to help me more. This is probably my most favorite book right now at the moment. It's called Crucible of Struggle. It is written by a professor here at the history department. He's absolutely magnificent. He is one of the top history professors in the department, and not only there, but in the nation as well, probably in the world. So he's absolutely awesome. And I've had the pleasure to have him in one of my classes in my freshman seminar. But right now it's called Crucible of Struggle, and I like the book right now because it's going to give me some sort of summary of the start of the Mexican-American War and any other effects that have occurred since when Mexicans were taking or became citizens of America, because that's something I haven't. So I'm a little interested in how is it that Mexicans were now citizens of another country. So that might be another option that I might change my research project into that. But the first thing is that I want to know how and why Mexico lost. So that's one. And then right here in this book right now, it's called Mexicanos, or Mexicanos, A History of Mexicans in the U.S. by another professor. He doesn't teach here. But I like this history book because it's going to tell me a lot of what I'm looking for. It's going to kind of tell me the perspective of America, and why is it that some Mexican people and of course Mexico are a little, what's the word, a little bitter to Americans because of the land. But anyways, I just want to use this book to kind of back up that understanding that there's a lot of anti-American sentiment. So this is another one. And then this is probably the third book that I'm gonna talk about, is The Glorious Defeat by another professor at Auburn University. And I like the book, especially because it talks about the Mexican perspective in terms of how it lost. How is it that Mexicans have this ability to lose, right? So we're just gonna, I'm sure, provide an overview because that's what I wanted to write about. It's a 10-page paper, so I don't really want to go into depth, but I do want to have a little bit of superficiality, but not as much, just enough to give my reader or my professor an understanding that I know what I'm talking about, and also give him some analysis of what I think is right. And then later, it's called En Aquel Entonces. This is another book by one of the other professors, but this also is the same person. I think he wrote the book, but then later he edited this other one, so it's awesome. And this one right here, I think it's going to give me another backup of how and why Mexicans are still better to America. So the more proof I have, the better. And then later, these are the other two books that I'm not really too sure whether I should use or not. But they are The U.S.-Mexican War by National Reader. And the only reason I picked this one is that it has a lot of information. A lot of specific cases, primary documents from history, so that might give me a little bit of insightful, I don't know, understanding later on if I'm stuck in something, you know. You can never predict how you're doing in research projects. And then probably my least favorite at this moment is Mexican War. I was reading a little bit more of what it means. And I feel a little dubious because I don't think it was published by University Press, and that's something huge where I'm from. A lot of my professors really tell us that we should concentrate on reputable resources such as university presses. But anyways, I don't know if I'll use it or not, but yeah. So that's one thing, and I could really just go on and on talk about all the things that I've been doing, but I feel very, very, very thankful, and I wish I could just tell you the great news. I mean, I'm going to tell you all. Anyways, I was accepted into a research fellowship in my university. I'm so sorry, but people just keep walking all over the place in the hallway, and you can just hear the door slam all the time. But I was given the chance to do a research fellowship in my university for the summer of 2012, and I am absolutely thrilled because it's gonna, as like I said before, it's gonna help me understand more about where I come from, and I've given them somewhat of a guideline of what I want to do, and they paired me with a professor whom I had probably 2 semesters, so probably a year now, and I could really identify with him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken him twice. But I feel very, very thankful that the internship is going to last 8 weeks. So I won't be home, which is what I've been doing for most of my summers, just going home and just being unproductive. And right now, this summer is going to be very, very good because I'm going to meet other people. I think the group is 18 to 20 people, so I just hope to get to know a lot of people who are just inspiring and who are dreamers just like me, who want to go further in life and probably explore whether becoming a professor or continuing to a PhD will benefit them or not. That's one of my goals. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm very, very excited that I am going to be part of this group. And I hope to later make a couple of videos and tell you all how that's going. And well, thank you so much for your time and cooperation, and I will see you later.